I'm Sheila Brummer with Siouxland Public Media News. Iowa Democrats made their case to their national party to keep the Iowa caucuses in the early presidential nominating calendar. The DNC committee that sets the calendar asked states to apply for a slot in the early window. They heard presentations from 16 states and Puerto Rico, including Iowa and Washington, D.C. last night and today. Iowa's had the first of the nation caucuses for 50 years, and now the National Party says it might be time to try something new. The final decision is expected in August. Meanwhile, national Republicans are moving forward with the traditional early states in 2024. Iowa Attorney General's office says a state Supreme Court decision that requires a 24-hour waiting period before an abortion will not take effect until next month. But the state's main abortion provider says it will immediately require that waiting period. A spokesperson for the Iowa Attorney General's office says last week's ruling would not take effect until the case has been returned to the lower court judge for further action. That's likely around July 8th. After the ruling, though, Planned Parenthood of the North Central states said the organization would immediately implement the waiting period. And Iowa State University is suspending its men's hockey club from competition next year in response to allegations of hazing. A university investigation found the club held events going back to at least 2018, where new members were required to drink alcohol. At other times, they were targeted for what the report called personal humiliation. Hockey club members at Iowa State will be required to go through anti-hazing and alcohol abuse training. The club will also be restructured as a student-led club. American Airlines has announced its service at the Dubuque Regional Airport will end on September 7th. American Airlines cited a national pilot shortage in making that decision. The director of the Dubuque Regional Airport tells Radio Iowa the airport will not close. Dubuque, like other airports, will seek a replacement for American Airlines. SkyWest announced plans back in March to pull service out of airports in Sioux City, Fort Dodge, and Mason City due to staffing shortages. SkyWest has been ordered by the federal government to continue flights in and out of those three airports until replacement commercial carriers can be found. Iowa's showcase of sports history will soon shut its doors for good and move online only. The Iowa Hall of Pride, which is located within the Iowa Events Center in Des Moines, is closing on June 30th. WHO-TV in Des Moines reports that the Iowa High School Athletics Association will move elements of the museum, such as interviews, to a new website called Achieve. The organization cited low museum attendance after the pandemic as a main reason for the closure. The Iowa Events Center has not determined what will fill the space soon to be vacated by the Hall of Pride. And survey numbers from the Iowa Department of Natural Resources show hunters bagged about 375,000 pheasants this year. Wildlife experts tell Radio Iowa that's about a 25% increase over last year. Information from hunters confirmed the DNR's August roadside survey from 2021. It showed bird numbers up in the northern third of the state and across the central portion. However, tough winter conditions dropped bird numbers in the south. While bird numbers have trended up the last couple of years, officials say habitat and weather remain the key factors that determine if the trend will continue. The DNR will conduct its roadside pheasant survey again in August. Weather conditions this spring have been good for nesting, and numbers are expected to stay strong. For Siouxland Public Media News, I'm Sheila Brummer.